Hi, it's me, Joshua, or Carpo if you prefer. I'm walking along the shore currently on the Columbia River, the mighty Columbia. In fact, even looking at this part, you could think that it's a large river, but when you pan over, you see how big it really is. And then you realize that even that's not the actual shore, that there's another section of river past that. This river is monstrous. And Lucy and I are taking a nice walk along the shore. I came down with my family for the 4th of July, so happy Independence Day, however you take that. A lot of people kind of scoff at the idea of, you know, America and freedom, but I say make it your own. Make the most of it. Like every holiday, it's all rooted in what we believe to be true. I look down and I see a shotgun shell here, 12 gauge. Somebody was duck hunting at one time or another. I'll toss it and wonder what Lucy is rolling in. I know somebody will say you should have picked that up, but honestly, I don't have anywhere to put it. Look at this dog. It must be something rotten. And I'm going to guess that, yeah, she found something I can't smell. So, I came down here with my family to let the kids swim in the river, maybe read a book, enjoy the 90-degree weather. It's supposed to be around 100 to 103, like over the next 3 days after today. So the 4th of July is like the last somewhat reasonable day at 90. And you know, I've grown up in Portland area, so I generally don't really have any, you know, we don't have major heat waves. But a couple of years ago, we got our asses kicked. Hell, I don't even know, that might have been last year, but it was like 113 degrees up where I live. Whew, that's hot. But as for now, I thought I heard Dad. It's funny when you're a parent, you hear and you think it's your own kids, and there's like all these people. That's another thing. We came down here, and usually there's a spot in the parking lots, which are kind of along the way. But not only were there no spots in the parking lots, even when we got within like 2 blocks of the area where you walk down, there was cars lined up on either side of the road. It was like more people than I've ever seen. Hundreds of people compared to like maybe dozens. And we came down anyway, and look, if you walk down far enough past all the sand and the people, you find some beautiful landscapes that, you know, you might step on something or you might not. But that's why I got size 14 feet, so I can distribute that weight evenly. Now, as you look off into the distance with me, you will see Mount Hood. Mount Hood is, I believe, 12,000 some odd feet, somewhere between 12 and 13,000. That mountain's been around for at least 100 years. Haha, it's a joke. It's a beautiful monument to nature's fury and then nature's ability to heal its own wounds and then just peacefully exist, waiting dormant for another onslaught of lava, magma. But I live up in the Northwest where we have many different mountains. We have Mount Rainier, or Tahoma, as the traditional name was. We got Rainier, we've got Mount Hood, we've got the Three Sisters, we've got Mount Jefferson, Mount Washington, Mount, what's the other one? I know there's Mount Adams, you know, and Mount St. Helens, of course. I live basically right up near Mount Adams and Mount St. Helens. And I remember in 1980 when it erupted, and I think it was, what, May 5th, 1980? Something like that. And it was, as a 5-year-old, because I was born in 75, all I recall is just ash all over the house. or the backyard and the porch, and I've got pictures of my dad like pressure washing and hosing everything down. So it was an interesting time. I guess it reminds you of nature's fury, like I said. Look at this perfect walking stick. It's probably cottonwood because there's a lot of cottonwood trees around here. I can't be sure, but it might end up being one of those sticks that I just take home with me. You know, I'll tell you, rather than walking through this mucky mud, even though it feels good, I would rather be walking in the sand at the moment, but just being able to be in my own little world over here with my camera away from people, even though I can hear people cranking country from like a quarter mile away. I gotta say, dude, I'm all for any type of music. I am a big fan of people's personal choice in what's good music, but don't crank country up. It just sounds wrong. I like some country, but I mean, if it's Johnny Cash, there's an exception, okay? I'll let that go. I'll let that slide. Anyway, off through the swamplands here. I think I'm going to turn around and actually start heading back. But I've shared the mountain with you and a few thoughts, and some of this slime and some of this algae in this beautiful world that we live in. I just want to say that I really hope the best for every single one of you, regardless of what your path is, where your destiny may lie, sorry, I've got to fix this stupid leash. It's like pulling off every second. There we go. Regardless of how you feel about life at the moment, I just want to let you know that if you're open and if you are willing to accept it, life can improve for you immensely just by your choice to live in harmony with nature. And that doesn't mean you have to run off and live in the mountains and not interact with money anymore or people, or completely abolish yourself from any type of system and curse capitalism and protest against oil. You know, all of that makes people feel better, but I'm talking about the real, what comes from the heart. It's this acceptance of just what is and who we are, and also an acceptance of the never-ending cycle of understanding and life. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, and the fact that no matter how far you may lean one direction, you have to remember the sun and the moon, and that the yin and the yang, it's the same thing. The two pillars, the different aspects of the same reality. The fact that when we think we understand ourselves, when we think we understand the world, we realize we don't know shit. And instead of letting that get you down, that should be your strength. That when you acknowledge and realize these things, when you discover that you can't really know the whole truth, when you discover that you can't really understand yourself completely, but you can put in all the work your entire life and feel good about it, and yet never resolve the particular issue that you may consider to be important. Self-discovery, something that just comes with walking along the beach, looking at the mountains and the river, and talking to a portable digital recording device so you can share it with the world. Blessings to you all, and to all a good night. It's time for me to head back into reality now, and perhaps finish a beer and have a sandwich and try to figure out what step I'm going to take next on the first day off I've had in like 2 weeks, because I've been working my job and working at my mother-in-law's house who passed away, and we're trying to get the house ready to sell. And it's just been a lot of work, and it feels good to just be done for a day. Oh, look, check him out. Where'd he go? I just saw a frog. Is that him? Oh, there he is. See him? Check him out. Oh, we got a friend here. Oh, hey. Anyway, well, y'all got to see some flies and a frog and a dog and me with the brain on a log. And I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for coming along. Peace.